Phoebe Garnsworthy here. I'm a spiritual author and meditation teacher, and today I'm going to read you one of my poems from my book, Define Me, Divine Me, but I'm going to be reading you one of the more sadder poems. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I speak about depression very openly, and being depressed and coming out the other end, I rely a lot of that on my understanding of spirituality and spiritual philosophy, and this is how I have managed to get through it and see the world in a positive light again. And this is what this poetry book captures, because I go through darkness and light and I honor those elements of myself. I believe that in order to move through depression, we need to accept that it's a part of us and then find the tools that help us navigate that energy when we feel it. And of course, if you're suffering from depression, please seek help. It's not something that you should do alone. But if you're like me and it's just a part of your life and you've learned how to navigate it in a positive light, then maybe you'll resonate with this little poem that I read to you today. And with my poetry readings, I like to explain them as well. So I'm going to explain what I was thinking and how I wrote it. Not all of my videos, but some of them you'll see have the explanation with it as well. So this is today's one, and it's called Letters to Myself, Part 2. Every day I am challenged with my own mind. I thought I had forgotten this taste, and yet it had always somewhere stained my mouth. My simple daily routine feels far from achievable, and yet there is no reason for such misery to exist. Perhaps it's the result of being surrounded by toxic energies around me. When I am near them, I can only feel my mind screaming to run away. And I hate being that girl. I hate feeling this way. I hate the word hate. Trying so hard to overcome these feelings of emotions, the illusion of compression, as if there is no way out. I let them get the better of me. I stand in the shallow waters and allow the waves to crash over me, suck me under and drown me whole. Even though I am tall enough to walk away, when will life become easy again? So I wrote this. So Define Me, Divine Me is a collection of journal entries. And I wrote this obviously when I was feeling really down. But when I reread this, I see the little hints of understanding and also a bit of the blame, that because I know that it's very common for us to blame ourselves. But for me, when I look at the blame of myself, not for feeling this way, but for knowing that I can get out of it. And sometimes I would linger longer in that feelings of depression for longer than necessary, because sometimes I liked the way that it felt. I liked feeling that real depth of emotion. And you know, the positive of that is, to me, it created a polarity of what love is, because I'm feeling the extreme of this sadness, I can feel the extreme of the love. So that's one way that I like to look at it. And so as I've written this, you can see the very first line: every day I am challenged with my own mind. And it's just saying that it's a constant battle. Even though I had forgotten this taste, and yet it had always somewhere stained my mouth. So it's saying that it's been a long time since I've felt like this. And often that will sometimes be it. Maybe it's been a year, maybe it's been 2 years since I had felt this low. But then when the feeling comes back, it's just a reminder that it never left me. And so that's why I say that depression is something that it will probably always be in my life. But I've learned how to accept it and to let it be a part of me, but not bring me down, not weigh me down. And I do this by not focusing my energy in that way. I've learned how to release and how to cleanse my energy and how to focus my attention elsewhere. And this has really been a savior to me, spirituality, and this is also why I write, because it really heals me. So, and then I go on to talk about my daily routine feels far from achievable, and yet there's no reason for such misery to exist. So I remembered writing this because depression for me, also everything that I say, this is just how I feel, and every single version of depression is so different. But for me, and obviously when I wrote this as well, there was nothing wrong in my life, and there was no reason for me to feel this way, but I just did. And I guess that's also sometimes a real challenging part of it, because, and I think also because I've held on to spiritual philosophy for a really long time, one of the negatives is you are always looking for a reason. There's a reason for this, because I always believed that a lot as well, that everything happens for a reason. And I still believe this, but what I've learned is to have acceptance that you don't always have to understand the reason at this moment, and that these reasons will come through to you later. And so a lot of the time, if I'm feeling down at this point in my life and there was nothing wrong around me, it also was very difficult to get out of it, because I didn't know what was wrong to fix it. Yet the way to fix it back then was to be at peace with it, to accept it, and to find my spiritual tools to help me move through it and to move the energy. And so that's when I really dove deep into meditation. I looked at energy healing, and I incorporated these two things into my life that has completely changed my life and the way that I see the world. So that's another little story about me. So next we've got, perhaps it's the result of being surrounded by toxic energies. And so this is going on to understand that that it's definitely energy that is weighing me down. So at this time, I don't think that I really experimented with cleansing my energy the way that I do now, because this book was written over 10 years ago, over the period of 10 years, but this is definitely one of the earlier poems. And so I'm talking about how, the energy is what's really causing me to suffocate, because I can see that there's nothing going on in my daily routine. It's just the way that I feel. It's like something stuck on me. And then it goes into the self-pity of, I hate being that girl, and I hate the world, I hate feeling this way, but it's just that I'm attached to it. And that was also what was causing a lot of pain. It was a form of defining me as well. It was kind of like, okay, once I let go of that, who am I? And that also caused me to then push into the questions of who am I, and who is this girl, who does she want to become? And and that's so important for us to really understand about our life, because sometimes we can be holding on to an identity, consciously or unconsciously, because we don't have the clarity of who we want to become laid out before us. And so that's why I put this into some e-courses as well, and I also incorporate these into my journaling and meditation practices as well, which I share these techniques too. And if you want some more information about that, there. Okay. And then I say, I'm trying so hard to overcome these feelings of emotions. I let them get the better of me. And then saying that I am standing in the shallow waters, but allowing the waves to crash over me, suck me under, and drown me whole. So that's also going on to say that I used to always feel really like, when the waves crash over you, when you're in the ocean, as beautiful as it is, sometimes you are being pulled in ways that you can't control. And that was sometimes how I felt about depression. It was something bigger than me. It was something that overtook all of my senses. But it was just the way that I was perceiving it. And that was a big lesson to me, is learning to look at it in a different way. Because here then I say about how the waves are crashing over me, and drowning me. But then it says, even though I'm tall enough to walk away. So it's like, even though I know better, even though I can understand and I can help myself get out of it, I'm choosing not to. And then the last, when will life become easy again? So it's once again kind of putting that, giving my power away. I'm giving away the idea of I'm playing the victim here, and I'm self-pitying again, and I'm like, when is it going to get easy? When really life is going to get easy when I make choices and I get the help and I make changes in my life. So that this little extract just goes into that feeling of what it was that I feel. So that was one of my poems from Define Me, Divine Me, and it is one of the darker ones. So like I said, it's an exploration of light and dark, but it's honoring both of them. So if you have feelings like this, you may resonate with it, and be assured we go into more positives. It's a journey. You can read this as just a random flip, but if you start from the beginning and work your way through, you're going to explore self-awareness and self-discovery with me, and we manage to get to a beautiful place of safety and of self-confidence. So I might read just a nice little light-hearted one at the end. Okay, so I just opened up. Forever. I breathe with ease, knowing that the universe is looking after me. I spread love unconditionally, for I feel all the blessings surrounding me. I don't worry about what comes my way, because I know my soul is guiding me. Everything in my life is my creation, giving depth and meaning to my day. So, I feel better that I ended on a little bit more of a positive one. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you're interested in some more, I have some more videos where I analyze some of the poems too, so you can check them out here. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I hope that you enjoy it, and I would love to know what you want to hear next from me. Okay, bye.